We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but we them nothing but Niners.
Boom! What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and guys, we are here to talk a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot going on. So, fellas, before we do all that, man, Nick got that new background over there. Breezy down in the locker room. Fellas, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? What's up?
What's up, Mikey? What's up, Mikey? What's up,
Breezy? Hey. Yo, the way my phone was blowing up today from y'all knuckleheads, man, I thought something was going with us. World War III, man. There's a bunch of Niner stuff going down today, y'all. Woo!
It was some important stuff, and we got to talk about all of it, man. But before we do, we have to go through some of these formalities. So, if this is your first time here on the YouTube page, we want to thank you guys for checking us out. If you enjoy the show, please hit that like button and also subscribe. If you do decide to subscribe, you want to make sure you turn on your notifications so you know exactly where we're going live. We don't just do shows like this that are pre-planned. We also do breaking news videos. So in order to catch those live, you're going to want to make sure your notifications are turned on. Give us a follow on Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are nothing but 9ERS. That is the number 9, nothing but the number 9ERS. All right, give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. That is Nothing But Niners. That's spelled out, no numbers in there anywhere, okay? Nothing But Niners. We have a website for you guys. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. That is your one-stop shop for any and everything 49ers from us here at Nothing But Niners. You know, I might have to change that because there is exclusive content over at Fan to Fan Network. I can't say your one-stop shop for any and everything, right? Because we put exclusive articles up over there on Fan to Fan Network, stuff that doesn't appear on our website. So I'm going to work on that. But yeah, www.nothingbutniners.com is where you're going to get most of everything from us here at Nothing But Niners. All right. And then we have a website where you can get some apparel. You see the hats. You see these hats that these guys are rocking. Check these guys out, man.
Oh, check this out too, guys. I ain't cutting you off, but I'm cutting you off. So
you got something else to show off over there?
Fresh out the box.
Hold up. Let's go full screen on them.
Hold up. Way too much, because who be thinking we don't play. And the cool thing is, yo, this joint, the logo is like embroidered on there, right? Like it's really cool. But check out the gold specs.
Oh, I thought, I ain't gonna. Okay,
you thought it was dirty coming out of the box,
I thought
right?
you had some like styrofoam pieces that was stuck to you. You didn't want to.
So what's funny is, as I was holding it up to, I was trying to rub it off on the other side, and then I realized there's gold flakes in there.
Nice. So
yeah, I was wondering. That's why I asked you if you got it or not, because that was like something little I added to it.
Oh, okay, Nick with the design without telling nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's how people get shot, dog. You gotta let a brother know.
That is hot, man. Now I gotta try to see if I can find one in my phone.
They only make it for iPhones, man.
No. We got it for Samsung on there.
Shut up, Nick. Dang, man. It was a joke.
Look, I made sure I put it for Samsung's on there because Mike has been like, "Yo, what the heck? You can't get no Samsung love."
Yeah,
and here's the thing. Man. I don't even use Samsung, so.
Oh, that's right. You switched. You don't use the Galaxy anymore.
Yeah,
right.
I moved to the LG family, man. The LG was knocking them out the park, so I had to get one of them. But it's all good, man. Guys, if you have one of those Samsung or iPhones, you see the case over there, man. Breezy, show that bad boy up there one more time, man. That case is smooth with the gold specs in there.
Gold flakes. Bam!
The gold flakes in there. You ever had this drink called Goldschlager? No,
yes,
promo,
sir.
Yes, sir. It's got the little gold flakes in the bottom. It tastes like cinnamon, right? It's like, oh man, y'all killing it over there. But yeah, that's the website to get your stuff over there, man. The apparel, the hats, the phone cases, the grill stuff for the ape. You gotta check it out, man. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you everything that's there. You guys go check it out. Backpacks, all that good stuff, man. And we have podcasts and all that. You guys know where to find us. But guys, I'm 49ers Mike _NFL. My guy over here is 49er Faithful 365. And the dude down there is Breezy. He is Shoot the Breeze 6. Guys,
It's 135 people watching. I better have 134 new subscribers by the end of this show on that Shoot the Breeze account. I'm putting out tonight we was talking about music. You missed it, y'all. It was crazy.
I watched it.
Oh, Nick, my bad.
see now I'm the bad friend because I ain't watching. I was
You were going back and forth from East Coast, West Coast. You were talking about Dangerous Minds.
Yo, it was crazy tonight, yo. Yo, Mike, it's okay, bro. You get a pass because I'm sure you got it. You got all the nuggets in here for tonight because I'm gonna be leaning on y'all.
60 like me.
Cuzzo, I'm so disappointed.
60 like me, baby.
I'm
look, LG gang. What up, man? We holding it down. Let's go.
Hey, Nick, it's 3 against 4,000 million, yo.
Right.
Oh, I love it.
And the new white Johns are up there though. You got to check those out.
Yeah.
What white John was?
The iPhone cases.
See, Nick. So what Nick does is he sends you a prototype picture, right? Yo, Wayne. No, shut up, Nick. Hold up. Let me finish.
He already defensive. Nah.
That's not even what happened.
He sends you a proto pic, and you were like, yo, this is fire. I'm ordering it now. Boom, click order. And then he goes and recreates like another modified version so he could get that one. You know what I'm saying? And then tells us about it on air. That's the type of friend Nick is. That's my dude. But that's what you do, bro. I'm just keeping it 100. I always keep it 100. We're gonna talk about Niners, but it's not but Niners right now.
Hold on. I'm gonna show you this real quick. Here you go.
See what I'm saying?
Nick want to defend himself now. Hold up. Nick want to defend himself.
There's the white John.
Now I like
Breezy conflicted. He emotional over there.
It's cool. Nick just gonna send me that joint. That's how we gonna work this out. Nick, just send me that joint, yo. Figure it out. Work it out. We good.
I like it, man. I like it.
Sean, I think Sean should try to be a comedian, right? He got punchlines for days, right? I've never seen a preacher comedian that got punchlines. Yo, if you start your church, bro, I'm a member, bro. Because if you keep your congregation with these punchlines, I'm there. Listen, I can't front. Look, it's funny how this is the box, and the color of the specs is in the box. So I thought it was dust. From the box, and I tried to scratch it off, and it didn't come up. 4 LGs. All right. We got 4 LGs to 4,000 million iPhone users right here now. That's what I'm talking about, yo. I don't even know if that's a number. But
y'all wow.
Mike don't even know he on mute.
Don't even tell him. Just keep going.
I said LG for life, but we got a lot to get to. So are y'all ready to do this, man?
That was a dope pun. LG for life, lot get to. Okay, I see what you're doing. Got that wordplay. I see it.
Yeah. So, man, listen. All right, guys. Now, for real, all jokes aside, there's injuries to talk about. There's pressures to recap. And there's opinions to talk about when it comes to George Kittle's contract. Womp, womp, womp. We told you guys that we would break that down as soon as the details came out. So I'm going to toss it to you guys. Where do you want to start? Let's ask Nick's thigh.
That's my thigh. That's my knee. That's my kneecap, bro.
Nah, I saw your thigh. I saw some inner thigh over there, man.
Nah, you ain't seen no inner thigh here. That shit's going. Anyway, look, we were talking about this earlier, man, and I kind of just jumped out of the room because you guys were just going back and forth. And, I understood where you were coming from, but I also understood how the team did it. And I think the team did it the way that they did is because they're unsure of what the cap space is next year, right? And the reason that they did that is because they didn't have to add any extra money this year. They didn't have to add any money next year. But the numbers are pretty crazy high after those first 2 years, right? So the best part about that is the 2 years where it's basically, what is it, like 5 million, 4 million, right? So it's like 1.8 million more than what he was making for this year alone, right? So we're paying him an additional 1.4, 1.8, whatever it is, million. Because what is it, 2.8 or 2.1 or 3.2? 2.1 he was making last year, right?
Yeah, his base salary this year was 2.1.
Right. So his base salary this year was 2.1. He's now going to make 4.8 in the next 2 years. So I wish I had that image. I was going to bring the image up. But I can get it if you guys want once you guys start talking. But the good thing about it is not knowing where the cap space is going to be next year. We're looking at, right now, if we stay at 175, we're looking at $5 million, right? So he's only accounting for, minimum for this year and next year. The year after that, obviously, it goes up to like 16 million, then it goes up to 18 million, then it goes to 16 million again, or 14 million, 16 million, 18 million, 16 million, I believe it is. But yeah, I mean, look, I still think it's a team-friendly deal, and the only reason I think it's a team-friendly deal is because of the first 2 years on that case, like on that contract. So that's where I think it helps the team because we have $26 million or 26 free agents next year. So I don't know. We'll dig into it, but I'll let you guys talk and I'll bring that image up.
Look, y'all talking about numbers and stuff, man. All I care about is George Kittle being a 49er, like moving forward. This is no disrespect to the research and all the stuff that came out today. Team friendly deal, whatnot. It just doesn't matter. Right now, he's a Niner. The Niners are happy. Kittle was happy. And not to cut this short, it's just what it is. So I'm just excited that he's here to play football. But go ahead and break down the numbers, Mike, because I know you've been itching.
There's the contract, guys. All right, you guys can see it here.
Oh, you already
can't
got
see my
it.
mouse. You can't see my mouse here, but his base salary is 2.1. That's from what was already going on.
That's this now.
He's got his bonus here for signing. That's 3.6. Guaranteed salary was his base, and the cap number is only 5, right? Okay, so that means that he went from 2.1 to 5.8, so it increased a little bit. Not a big deal. It's only 2.8% of the cap, right? And then next year, which is the year that's all in question, we don't know what the cap is going to be. Could be really, really bad, right? All right, cap hit number is only 5.5. George Kittle, thank you very much. You saved the Niners some money next year because guess what? If we had to tag this dude, it would have cost us probably about $9.5 to $11.5 million. So, and that's pure cap. We don't have to tag him now. Boom, the Niners saved at least $5 million. He's got this nice, cute little $10 bonus here. I don't know what that is. I would be insulted if I signed a deal this big and a bonus is $10, but it's in there. All right. Workout bonus of 100,000 per game. Roster bonus is 100,000. Now in 2011, aren't we going to be at 17 games?
It's supposed to go up, yes.
Right. Okay. So
2011. We're way past
2021. That's what
I meant 21. Oh, okay. Nick's on his ball. Okay, it's cool. That's good. I like that. But you see what the roster, the per game thing is here, right? So it's only 1.7 million. That's if we are at 17 games. But then you see it go up here, right? Okay, so here we go. He's 29 years old. All right. Now we're getting to the real meat and potatoes. His base salary is 11.4. Okay, now keep in mind we're talking about a tight end. That's not bad. That's what I kind of expected the contract to be in general. But we're starting to see some other stuff, some more bonus money in there. The per game is $500,000, man. That is good money. That is $8 million, over $8 million in bonuses per game. Now, if he's injured, I'm assuming if he misses like just one game, he don't get that, right?
No, I think he had an injury clause put in to where he still gets paid if injured.
Well, the injury clause is if he like has to miss significant time or like breaks a leg or something. But if he just misses one game for like a jam finger, and he sits out 1 week, I don't know if he gets this per game roster bonus. But I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on that. But you guys see the cap number here, $16 million. Okay, let's just stay in this column here. Let's go straight down from 16 million. 16.1, 16.3, 18.5, 15.4. And that 18.05, I'm sorry. Okay, here's my issue with this. All right. We have been praising Parag and this front office for how they have been genies with the cap numbers, right? And we are never in cap space, and they sign the best deals because they can always get out and blase, right? Cool. But now all of a sudden, Parag is having to sign guys that are worth something, right? But prior to this regime, what was the biggest deal Prague had to sign? It was the Colin Kaepernick deal. Is that correct?
Quan Alexander.
Bowman's, right?
Quan Alexander.
No, I said prior to this regime. Prior to
this regime,
I would say it was Cap.
it had to be the Kaepernick deal, right? And he had an out after 2 years, and they exercised that out and they got out of there, right?
Correct.
Since then, the team hasn't really had any superstars, any Pro Bowlers, any All Pros on the team. So he's never had to work any big deals. My issue with this is that the cap numbers are significantly more than what the highest paid tight end would receive on a team other than this. The cap number, the cap hit being $16 million for a tight end is really, really high. Now I'm nitpicking, and most people don't care. Matter of fact, the three of us, it's in the description. We don't care. We're happy that George Kittle is here. But I think all that, this guy is a genie, and this is your cap genius, and this is a really team-friendly deal. I think that has to go out the window. It is not a team-friendly deal. This team is overpaying for their superstar, and it's reflective in the cap numbers. Not just the base salary, it's reflective in the cap numbers. They worked out some magic for next year when the cap is in flux, and that is great. That is an A-plus move. We're going to be $30 million less next year than what we are going to be the year after that. So I get it. That is an A-plus move there to work that out. But for the cap hit to be higher than what any other tight end in the league is going to be paid, it's crazy. It's crazy. They could have done better with the bonuses or something. I don't know, but it's just kind of crazy. I know we were tight for space this year, and maybe this is a deal that they end up reworking again in a year or two. So we're going to have to keep our eye on that. But don't be surprised if this deal does get reworked in another season or two. Not next season, obviously, but the year after that. Go ahead, Breezy.
And that's exactly what I was going to allude to before you said it, because I never know what you're thinking, but I knew you were thinking that, and you said exactly what was going to be in my head. Look, they had to get a deal. I take that back. They did not have to technically get a deal done, but they wanted to get a deal done because they wanted to get the best player, probably like in the NFL, especially the best player on their team, one of the best playmakers in the NFL, one of the best energy playmakers in the NFL, one of the best. They just needed to get this deal done so that there's no remorse, no discrepancy, no bad vibes out there on the football field. Why? Because the San Francisco 49ers are contending for another Super Bowl run. And I think we all know that we call it the revenge tour or whatnot, but we all know that they are contending for a Super Bowl run. So they want to make sure they have probably, if not the most valuable piece on their team going forward. So, like you said, Mike, this doesn't seem to be a team. Look, it does appear to be a team-friendly deal. Can I say that? But when you break down the contract and going into the future, we are overpaying. And Mike and Nick, isn't that normally what you do for your star player? Like you kind of overpay, especially depending on the position. And if the position, go ahead, just answer the question.
Your answer is yes in general, but you don't overpay by 50% the next highest at that position.
Gotcha.
So if you look at Aaron Donald's cap hits, and then you look at who's up there, Buckner, and you compare that to Buckner's cap hits, right?
Yeah.
You won't see Aaron Donald's cap hit of, I'm just going to say a number, 20 million, and then DeForest Buckner's is only 11, because that's 50. You get what I'm saying? It's not that big of a difference. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm talking about. So, it's not a big deal. I do think it gets reworked. We're going to keep our eyes on it, but it's good that we got them locked up. So that was my little riff. That was probably the only negative. No, it's not the only negative thing I got to say tonight. But we can move on from that. Go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just going to say, because if you look at it on over the cap.
You want me to pull the picture back up?
Well, I think it's different.
Oh, I thought that picture was from over the cap.
So pull it up real quick, and I want to compare these real quick because I want to see something. Okay, yeah, it's the same. So that last year is actually an out year.
You're looking at the dead money and cap savings?
Yeah, because your dead money is only $450,000.
Correct. Which is typically what you see in these longer contracts.
Right. So technically it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year contract. And then basically the 6th year, while he's making a base salary of 14.4, He has no guaranteed salary in 4 of those years, and then only a $450,000 dead money, and with a $15 million cap savings. So that looks like they're out right there in 2025.
Yeah, he's 32 at that time. I mean, you're gonna give yourself an out against any 30-plus-year-old football player.
Now, if you match these numbers up to Travis Kelce, his new contract. Hold on, I got to get.
Are you going to do just cap numbers? You're going to go down the line in cap numbers?
Yeah. So his cap numbers in 2020 is $11,218,000, $20,750,000 in dead money. Right. 2021 is 13.2 with $12,250,000 in dead money. Then he drops down to 7.5 million with no dead money.
And that's in 2022, right?
Right, but then he goes back up to 13.2 million.
Still not that's 2 years. Now those numbers you're talking about, 7 and 13, it's only equal to 20. In those same 2 years, Kittle's cap hit is 32.4 million.
Right.
You can keep going.
And then 2024 is 15 million.
And Kittle's is 18.05.
And then 2025 is 17.25 for a total of 77,468,400. So he's only making $300 more than George Kittle.
300,000.
300,000, yeah.
Right. But you know why it looks like he's making more than George Kittle? It's because Kittle's rookie deal isn't here still. The numbers we're looking at are with the rookie deal. Kittle's extension doesn't start until next year. And so this counts because you got to remember that Travis Kelce was already playing on an extension.
Right. And the other difference is all the dead money from 2022 to 2025 is $0 dead money.
And that's what I was trying to say. That's all I was trying to say is that when you look at it.
Well, I was just trying to give our fans something to compare to.
People are going to say that I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about. And that, you know me, that's okay. But when I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I was saying is that when you compare it to the other guys who are getting paid like that, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. Go ahead, Breezy. Breezy cracking up about something over there. What is going on,
it's funny because when we first started talking about the Kittle extension, I remember you saying that you will pay him. You just don't want to pay him 50% over like what they should be getting paid. And that's what the 49ers did. And I think that's funny because that was something you talked about months prior to extending George Kittle. You was like, I don't mind making him the highest paid tight end, but to pay him 50% more than what the highest paid tight end is making, that might be a problem. But see, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And the reason why is because you have a guy like Parag, and it's not just to work the numbers, it's to kind of like guess the system. I mean, he kind of gets paid a lot of money to kind of foresee the future. Where will the system be as far as the salary cap 3-4 years from now? So as those numbers come in, Mike and Nick, I think you'll start to see, this contract was dope. Just think about when we signed, Jimmy Garoppolo. We talk about Colin Kaepernick. Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. We forgot about him. That junk was through the roof. And
we didn't forget about him, but
we just said prior to this regime.
Prior to this regime. You're right. Yeah, you're right. So I mean, like even that contract, we were just like, oh my gosh, we're paying him a lot of money. He better go out here and produce such and such and such. But then as time starts progressing, and then the other quarterbacks start getting paid, it was like, we got Jimmy Garoppolo for a steal.
Right. And I think where we're going to feel it the most is in 2 seasons. Not this season coming, like that we're about to be in, and not the season after that.
We better win a Super Bowl. I know that.
It's the season following that one. So the 2022 season is when a lot of guys are going to be due some big money. And if this deal doesn't get reworked, which is why I said that year for that deal to be reworked, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be really, really scary because
we got to remember too, like Breezy was just saying, like as the years go past, the cap is going to go up, right? We're not going to have, hopefully, knock on some wood, that we're not going to have another 2021 year or another 2020 year where COVID is still around in 3 years or 2 years where it affects, the football atmosphere and cap and all sports in general. So, you're going to continue to jump up in money. And as the years go along, that money is going to be accounted for, obviously, right now. But how much of a hit is it really going to be, right? So we're trying to predict the future right now and say, okay, this looks really bad from 2023 all the way to 2025, right? Those 3 years that are left on his contract. And I'll leave 2025 out because that's not really, that's an out year, right? So 2023, well, yeah, 2021 into 2022 season, right? Because that'll be on 22's cap, then 23, 24, and then 25 being an opt-out year, basically, right? Because you can cut them with no dead money. We may look back in 2024 and say, you know what, that really wasn't that bad because of how much money we have or what the cap goes up to. Right now, it looks bad.
The fact that you guys are saying that based off of and hoping that the cap explodes lets you know that you're concerned. That's my entire point. When you look at a deal, when we looked at Jimmy's deal, that's not it's high at the moment, but you realize that's not bad for a quarterback. And when you look at the cap hits, it wasn't bad for a quarterback.
Right, but we also got to, and I think Wayne's going to go here with the same thing I'm about to say, but we also got to understand that positions change. Budda Baker is the highest paid safety in the NFL right now. Not deserved.
By how much though?
I don't know. He's the highest paid though. I don't know what his actual contract was. I didn't look at it. I just saw that they upped his raise. But we got to understand that, look, the tight end position has evolved from 3 years ago, right? Whether that was George Kittle that did it, Travis Kelce that did it, Selleck. No, not Selleck. What's the other guy's name in Philadelphia? Ertz.
Yep.
Those 3 guys have evolved the tight end position over the last 3 years. And they're making.
Can I just say I disagree with that? That's all I want to say. I just disagree with that.
Okay. Well, that's fine. But I mean, the truth of the fact is that people are going out to get more tight ends to implement in their systems, and they're going to eventually get paid. The tight end is more important to a lot of people's offense in the NFL right now than an average wide receiver is because of what they use them for. So George Kittle is more important to this offense in the run game, the blocking game, the pass ability catching game than our third string wide receivers are. And they're setting the standard for tight ends. And that's what's going to happen. The tight end was not going to stay at Austin Hooper money at $11 million a year. There's no possible way. George Kittle is that much better than Hooper, right? Travis Kelce is that much better than Hooper. Guys are going to evolve. They're going to get paid. And as long as the NFL continues to allow cap space to go up and there's no threshold and a stop to it, all players are going to start getting crazy amounts of money.
Right, of course. They're basketball players who have earned more than Michael Jordan. Doesn't mean that they were better. I get that. It's a different time, different cap, different all that stuff. But we're talking about by how much. And, okay, the Budda Baker makes $175,000 more a year than Eddie Jackson. There are
right, but what is it overall?
3, 4, 5. There are 5 safeties that make $14+ million a year in the NFL.
Right.
5.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. That's what offensive players get paid more than defensive players.
You use Budda
all the
Baker
time. No, but I'm just saying because he doesn't deserve to be the highest paid safe. There's a lot better safeties in this league. But what I'm trying to say is offensive players get paid better than defensive players get paid. No matter what. That's the game. The sport is an offensive game. So
that's not what I'm arguing. I'm talking about how much more that he's being paid. His positional value is not his positional value. That's been my argument from the beginning of all this. I don't mind him being the highest paid tight end. They're not paying George Kittle tight end money when he is a tight end. You get what I'm saying?
But that's the way. That's you got to look at it though. You're just looking at it as a tight end. But if you go to this offense,
here we go.
He's more than a tight end in this offense. Yes,
George Kittle is not. George Kittle is not more than what tight end in the NFL isn't asked to catch passes?
Okay.
What tight end in the NFL is not asked to be an extension of the offensive line?
Okay.
What tight end in the NFL isn't asked to block in the run game
or line up in the
George Kittle is not more than a tight end, people. Y'all have to stop saying that.
But hold on, he is because of his.
Can Can we say he does better?
He does better than any other tight end. What he does as a tight end has evolved the tight end position to where guys want to have guys like George Kittle, the exceptional blocking, the ability to play fullback, the way to catch a football, the separation in routes, the route running, the dire.
You're telling me that George Kittle is a great tight end. You're not. He is still a tight end. He's not a hybrid player.
I got it now.
They have not reinvented the position of tight end with George Kittle.
I got you, Mike.
That is a lie. People have to stop saying that. He does everything every other tight end is asked to do. The thing is, he does them all very well. He is still just a tight end. He's not throwing passes.
Now,
right?
he's
not kicking off. He's not kicking extra points. He's not a holder. He's not a snapper. He's not a punter. He is a tight end. That is it. That's it.
Positional wise, yes, you are 100% correct. He is considered a tight end. But what he does as a tight end is why he deserves to be paid what he is as the highest paid tight end in the league. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. You're 100% correct. He is only a tight end. But the things that he does as a tight end is better than any other tight end in the NFL. And he deserves to set that threshold.
Okay.
Find me a single position in the NFL where the best player is getting paid 50% more than the next closest player.
In the position.
And that's my point with all of this from the very beginning. That's all I've ever been saying. You won't find it.
But all right. Okay. I wanted to argue and say, does the best wide receiver typically block well? Right? Because that's what we're saying that George Kittle does. Does the best wide receiver, does the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, and I'm asking you too, you laughing, but I'm asking, does he block? No. I probably doesn't want to block. And this is why San Francisco doesn't go after guys that are like that. They go after guys that they can block. You have to be a blocking wide receiver in this offense. So to differentiate just a little bit, Mike, I think this is why you overpay a guy like George Kittle, not because he does or plays other positions. It's just that he does.
Julio Jones, highest paid wide receiver.
I don't see Julio Jones. Julio Jones can't even play a full season of football, so I know he's not blocking. But he's not asked to. Right.
But the things that make his cap number so high, his base salary is lower.
Low. Right.
The things that make his money is the game bonuses, the $100,000 workout bonus, the $500,000 per game roster, and the prorated bonuses. So his base salary is 11.4, 11.6, 13.4, 14.4. That's what his base salary is. That's if you line that up with other tight ends in the league, that he's making more in bonus.
You're not gonna play the semantics game. George Kittle makes $15 million a year, bro. You can't play the semantics game with base salary because he still gets the bonuses and all that stuff. When I'm looking up these positions, I am looking them up at on average per season. That's how I'm looking them up. I'm not looking up just base salary. I'm not looking up roster bonuses, signing. I'm looking up average per season. Now, luckily, Kelsey has this inflated thing in there where if another tight end gets paid more than me, my deal matches that or comes very close to it. That's the only reason Kelsey is there right now because Kelsey just signed his deal 3 years ago.
Wow.
So he had that little factor in there. As long as I'm still producing, I'm getting 1,000 yards. I get that inflation with him. That's fine. That's why Kelsey got that deal. But you can't sit here and find another guy who does it like that. There's no Julio Jones, highest paid, $22 million. Right under him, Amari Cooper at $20 million. Under him, Michael Thomas, 19.25. Just to be clear here, Amari Cooper making $20 million means that Julio Jones should be making $30 million. That's 50% more than the next guy. I just want you guys to understand how ridiculous that number is as a percentage for the position. That's all. That's all.
But again,
I'm not saying George isn't good. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Breezy.
But I'm hoping that the reason why they're overpaying their tight end is because of all the responsibilities that he does very well. Can I leave it at that? I'm thinking that's why they're overpaying a tight end, or that's why they're paying 50% more than what the other highest paid tight end was making. Because does he block better than Travis Kelce? Yes. Does he catch better than Travis Kelce? I mean, we say yes, they say yes, but we definitely the one difference between the two is that he's going to block. or line up in the backfield, or do the things that tight ends are supposed to do. Never seen Travis Kelce line up in the backfield either. But my point is, I think that's why they're overpaying. But like Nick said, the money, the bonuses are low to overpay this cut, to make it up for it in the rear end. And I think we're going to be fine. And so can we address this in 2 more years? Can we just go out and enjoy the season? Can we go out and watch George Kittle just be dynamite? Like, that's all I care about.
They did what they had to do, and they did it because of the fact that they weren't letting George Kittle walk. If George Kittle walked and somebody else would have paid him more than $15 million a year, I'm sure that somebody would have paid him more than $15 million a year, and the Niners were not having that.
I agree.
See, how can you make a statement like that and I can't respond?
Nobody,
because I can tell you nobody
can
would have paid him
respond, bro.
you can respond. Nobody said you couldn't
Let me
respond.
tell you why nobody else would have paid him more than $15 million a year or $14 million a year. Because in order to acquire him, you would have had to give up multiple first-round picks. You're not going to do that and pay him that kind of money. You're too much capital. This is a business, folks. This is a business.
Bro, you act like we've never seen stupid deals in the NFL. Giving up a crazy amount of money and paying and extending people.
Tell me one time it's happened for a tight end.
I'm just not talking about tight end, but people will do that.
I am talking about a tight end.
Bro, we're sitting here talking about tight ends, and right now the reason that we're talking about tight ends so much is because what George Kittle has done to boost the tight end position.
All right. Somebody would have traded for him and paid him $15 million. All right. Now,
you don't think so?
Nobody would have had to trade for him. He could have walked. There would have been nothing.
We have his rights for 2.
One more year, this year and next year. He still would have walked.
Nick, we could have tagged him 2 more times.
You could have tagged him. Yes, you're right.
So that means we had him for this year, next year, and the year after that. That's 3 years. This is his last year.
Right, and he would have made a lot more money than he's making right now per year on a tag.
No, he would not have. No, he would not have, Nick. We would have got him for less than $10 million a year each year. That's a fact. That's why Austin Hooper, who had the 10.5, is the highest paid because of that tag. And then it drops dramatically because of that.
Right.
It would not have cost us that much money. It's $32 million.
But let me ask you this.
I just want to move on. I'm done.
And let's move on. But let's say this. You put a tag on a guy like George Kittle, and isn't that a bad vibe? I know it happens. It's business. But that's like sending a bad message. Right, to the person you value. You say you value the most, right? You saying you value him more than you value Jimmy and all the other players on the team. That's just sending a bad message or putting a bad vibe out there.
Yes, and I'm so happy he's here. I swear to God.
Oh yeah, we know, but we know who you are too. So moving on, guys.
Yes, because I can't believe we just went 40 minutes.
Yo, wow.
We got pressers. We got injuries. All right, Breezy. Nick chose to start with
Let's go with injuries because y'all going to rock out these pressers, man, because I didn't get a chance to see not one presser. I'm going to go off of highlights. So let's get to the injuries, man. And let's get to the injuries.
So, all right. So Shanahan had his presser, and at the very beginning, he addressed the injuries. So it turns out they didn't know this, but Nick Bosa is now week to week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It turns out that he had a muscle strain. It's crazy because they thought it was just some tightness. They let him sit out the rest of that previous practice. They were off yesterday, and he was getting ready to go back out on the field when the results came in. And the results came in that it was a muscle strain. They were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, he was about to play through it. Right? So that's the first thing that's there. But what I want to ask you guys about that was, how do you feel when you hear that he was loosening up and getting ready to go back out there? Like that without the results being in yet, they were about to let him go in practice. Should we be happy that, hey, at least they caught it? Or is it like, well, why were y'all rushing him back out there? Because it's Nick Bosa. Like, we know he's
that's not what I took from it, though, because I took from it that he was sore. He had tightness when it first happened. They sat him out another day, and he was still tight. So then they ordered an MRI. The day that he was going to play, he was still tight. And they were like, you know what? Hold off. Let's get an MRI. Got the MRI and then came back, and that's why he wasn't practicing today.
That's not – okay. So I heard the tightness. They kept him out the rest of the last practice 2 days ago. Yep. And then yesterday was the off day, which was also when the MRI was done.
Yep.
And
well,
then today,
Friday he left practice. Then Saturday he didn't practice, and that's when they ordered the MRI Saturday. And then they were off Sunday, and he didn't practice Monday.
right. So no. I thought yesterday was their day off.
Yesterday was the day off.
Right. So
Monday.
you're
Sorry,
your
Monday.
days are right, but you're backwards. You're
Right.
off by one. So shift every So
shift.
but the reason I'm saying that is because Shanahan said he was about to go out to practice. We thought he was just going to play through it, and then luckily we caught it, and it was the very, very first thing he said. So if we want, we could play it real quick so y'all can hear it. But it was the very first thing he said, where he's talking about how they were just lucky that they caught it because he was going to play through it. So here, hold on, let me.
Yeah, because I thought he said that he played, he didn't finish practice because of tightness. The next day he was still tight, so they ordered an MRI, and then the third day is when on their off day is when they found out what it was in the MRI as a muscle strain, and then he didn't practice today.
All right, so I'm gonna hit play. I didn't see this live. Now this is the whole hour and 5 minute. You know how they put them all together. So this is I'm gonna hit play at 0 seconds. It's the very first thing he's talking about. We don't get to hear the question, and you barely figure out who it is he's talking about when this starts. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it now. All right. So unfortunately, it's in the middle of Shanahan talking already. All right.
We got a little worried. Sent him to get an MRI and found out there was a little more there. What did we end up calling it? Yeah, so it was a muscle strain. He'll end up being week to week now. Glad we ended up getting that MRI because there was more to it. So he was about to go out and practice through it because he didn't think it was much. And fortunately got that, and we're able to prevent him from hurting it worse.
All right. So he doesn't say what day he was going to go and practice, but I assume that was today because they were off yesterday. So that was the assumption I drew. So I don't know that to be factual. It could have been from the previous practice, but I assume that to be today.
Right. So, yeah, like that's what I think. Like I think they sent him for an MRI on the day off, and they got it back, and then didn't let him practice today.
Right. So, but what I wanted to know is the fact that they were considering letting him play through without getting those results first. Like that's what I took from it. Now maybe I misunderstood what he meant there, but to me it sounded like he was saying he was getting ready, he was going to play through, but we got the results. And we're happy we caught it. So maybe he meant, I don't know.
I think it's hard to read into because we don't know what day, like technically they got the results, right? So today could have just been a day that they already knew what was going on, so he sat out. Yesterday was the day that they had off, but the day before, they could have ordered the MRI after that and got the results. Like I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I'm not gonna speculate, right? Because I don't want to be that guy that has to eat crow of some sort if I don't really know what this dude's talking about. So
no, I got you. I understand. No, that leave me to be that guy who just steps on ledges, man. That's fine. I see some very interesting comments in the chat that I really like, but we're not there yet. So that's Bosa's injury. Breezy, did you have any thoughts on that?
Not really, man. It's a calf. It's not a calf strain. That's D Ford, but it's a muscle strain. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure that. Listen, if this was regular season, he would absolutely be out there ready to play, but it's not. So they caught it. He's gonna rest up. Listen, Nick Bosa doesn't necessarily look. The fact that Nick Bosa was getting days off to rest to heal up lets us know that this guy is highly ready and to play football. Like he is ready to go. Zeroed in, ready for September 13th. He doesn't need the reps. Let them other guys get those reps, man.
Right. And we heard that during the last practice that even without Ford and Bosa, the secondary was still doing well and getting turnovers.
Correct.
So that was pretty cool. The other injury that he talked about right after Bosa was Brandon Nyuk, the stud rookie. He is now week to week with a mild strain as well. It's his hamstring. And he said that they're not worried about his injury because he's mentally strong and prepared. He just can't drop the ball and getting the mental reps and keeping up with the playbook. He said later on in the presser, maybe 6 minutes later, he says, I'm hoping to have him back in 1 or 2 weeks, hopefully. So he felt fortunate for the diagnosis because they thought it could have been worse. So listening to the opposite spectrums there, right? With Bosa, we thought it was all right, and we were considering letting him practice, but luckily we got the MRI to stop us. And then with the wide receiver, it was, we dodged a bullet. We thought it was worse than that. Like the emotions, man. I don't know. And Kyle just delivers everything, you know. Yeah. So, what are your guys' thoughts on that, man? The wide receivers are getting thin out there, and that's going to lead us into our next thing about who they brought in. But what are your guys' thoughts on the Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, and just one more other player, D Ford, obviously, but you know, I want to. This is worrisome to me because these are all soft tissue injuries again. And what were the Niners going through before we changed over our strength and conditioning coaches? We were getting a lot of muscle injuries, a lot of stretching injuries that weren't stretching properly. And now it seems to be that we got 3 guys in the same week that all got muscle strains, right? And why? That's worrisome to me, right? So that's definitely worrisome to me as to why are we getting all these muscle strains, right? And I was glad to hear because at first when Kyle Shanahan was talking about a muscle strain, I'm like, wait, where is it? Like, where's the strain at? Is it his core? Like, where's that strain at? And then he said his leg, right? So then he addressed it as leg. But you know, obviously a lot of this is, you know, it's a shortened season, right? No mini camp, no training camps, no OTAs, nothing like that. But you should still be that gives you more reason to stretch better, right? You're not out running around as much as you would have been already. You need to get into game shape, right? So definitely still something to look at. Still worries me because they, even though that we haven't had training camp, OTAs, mini camp, all that other stuff, you should know that you should be stretching more right now before you go in and play because your body isn't into that football shape yet. So that's worrisome for me.
The way I look at it is this. This guy's a rookie, and he's been out there outworking each and every wide receiver on this team. Every wide receiver except for Deebo Samuel, who's not been at practice because he's dealing with an injury. He's been going out there busting his tail to let everybody knows that, hey, I know I'm a rookie, but I'm trying to be the best. And he pulls something. He probably pulled it, jumping up, reaching out, stretching to make a play. I get it that it's soft tissue, but these things are going to happen when you don't have OTAs and you don't get these guys into certain type of regiments and things like that, man. You're going to get these soft tissue injuries. Luckily, right, you heard Kyle talked about how they're not worried. And if they're not worried, guys, until we need to worry, let's not worry about it. He's another player. And he's another player that's probably got it. I hate to say it. And I know he's a rookie, and I'm not putting a bunch of stuff on him, but he's going to be a playmaker. So you know what? We need this guy. Let's just let him rest up, and let's get some of these guys we brought in here the reps because they brought in like 95 wide receivers, and only 3 of them might make the team because we got our slot guy at Trent Taylor. We got Deebo, who's going to be back on the team, right? We got Dante Pettis, looks like he's going to be fine. And then you got all these guys they brought in, right? Who am I missing? And Kendrick Bourne. He's a sure go. That's your 1, 2, 3 with Ayuk, and then Deebo be back, Pettis, Taylor, and then maybe 2 more of those guys are going to make this squad. So, listen, I think he rests. We get reps from Jerron Brown, J.J. Nelson, Taylor. What's his name? Him. You know what I'm talking about. We get
Bourne?
No. The guy we signed, Tavon Austin.
Tavon Austin.
Yep. Okay. They get the reps because only 2, maybe 2 and impossible. Mike Spades. Only those guys might make the team. So I think they're okay with Brandon Ayuk. I think they're happy with the transition that he made from college to the NFL just through Zoom and what they've seen in the past 8 days. I do understand, Nick, why you're worried because it's soft tissue and we've been there before. So I get it. But I think this is one of those ones where it was caught early and they're going to be able to massage that joint back to where it needs to be. And I know it's a hammy, but it's not a foot. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, and I don't think that the injuries won't be fine. I'm just worried about why the injuries are happening.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say, is because of the strength and conditioning coaches, because it's their job to get these guys stretched out, like make sure they're stretched out right.
Yeah.
Right. And you addressed earlier that there was no OTAs, and so that means you should be more mindful, right? But Shanahan also admitted when this all first started and we got back to practice, he said it's going to be really tough to figure out how hard to go because there's no preseason games.
Yes, sir.
So we have a lot less time to travel, which means more time to practice, and we don't know the mix that we should be using yet. Sean's comment here: why are all the guys we don't need stay healthy? It's because the guys we need are getting all the reps. That's just how it is, and Shanahan admitted as much. It might have been a presser from last week where he said we need guys to depth. We have to get through camp. All right, you know who some of your starters are going to be already, but you still have to get through camp. Without those bodies underneath there, you're going to be putting your starters out there and exposing them to a little bit too much. And Nick, you are absolutely right. There is the D Ford update and the Samuel update. We will get back to those, but while we're on this wide receiver news, all right, let's discuss the wide receivers we brought in and then get back. We'll detour back to the injury updates, okay? The Niners, I did put the image in here just now. Let me see if I can find it. The Niners did bring in a couple of wide receivers per Ian Rappaport. Johnny Holton, former Raider and Steelers player. Former Bears first rounder Kevin White. Former Bengals wide receiver River Craycraft.
You're Craycraft.
And then former Falcons wide receiver who was someone that I really liked coming out of the draft, Justin Hardy. Guys, these names, I'm not gonna lie, there's two names on this list that really excite me, one more than the other. And you guys remember my article that we did the beginning of last season where we were having some wide receiver woes. I said Justin Hardy was a guy that I would look at because in this system, he could be scary. He's got size, he's got speed, and he's more physical than people give him credit for. He's just fragile. He is someone who has been injured a lot, but he's healthy now. What are your guys' thoughts on this list? I will put it back up there again so you guys can see it. What are your thoughts on this list? And who, if anybody on this list, would you guys prefer make the team? Now, we'll cheer for anyone who does make the team, but who do you guys prefer, if anyone on this list at all?
So coming out of the 2015 draft, I was really big on this Kevin White guy. Why? He was fast. 4.35, 6'2", 215. And then he just kept getting injured. And then he also went to the Bears and he just kept getting injured. I forgot where he went to after the Bears. But I was high on him in that 2015 draft. I thought he would be a sure fit for a team that made it. Listen, this guy's got speed. There's something about why does Kyle keep finding these wide receivers with speed? That's something we need to ask ourselves. J.J. Nelson, Tavon Austin. Like, I know they're older, they're vets, but why the ones that were super fast? I mean, what is that about? So I think out of all the receivers, this is a guy that I'm looking for. Why? He has some size. He's a little bit short than 6'3". We like big body receivers. He's big. He's physical. He just could not stay healthy.
And he's from Jersey. Okay.
Nice. So that's the guy I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping he goes out there and does what he needs to do. But guys, the competition is crazy. I can't wait to talk about the competition in the wide receiver room after Nick goes.
Yeah, I mean, you said you weren't sure where Kevin White went after the Bears, but he didn't go anywhere.
No,
Gotcha.
he signed. He signed in the.
But he hasn't taken a
offseason,
snap in the
March.
NFL. He hasn't taken a snap in the NFL since 2018.
No, I know that, but he signed with the Cardinals in like March or April, but then he had a hamstring injury and they cut him in August. Like I think it was even before preseason games. But he was in camp with the Cardinals. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you're right. He went with the Cardinals, but he hasn't taken any snaps since 2018. So he's been out of the league for 2 years with that hamstring injury. Don't know why he didn't get re-signed in last year, but after that. Justin Hardy is a guy who is familiar with Kyle's system as well. Obviously being in Atlanta, from 2015 to 2019. He runs a 4.56. He's a smaller guy, 5'10", 185 pounds. He's a shifty guy, right? So, shifty at what I'm saying by small. Look, This is really interesting to me, right? And you're gonna make me pick somebody, and I'm gonna go with Justin Hardy. And the reason I'm gonna go with Justin Hardy is because I feel like he's a guy right now with the injuries that we have on this team, he can fill in right now and be ready by week 1 compared to what a Kevin White could, right? Because he has familiarity with the system. So if Debo wasn't ready and he possibly had a chance of making this team, right? I'm not going to say he doesn't have a chance because everybody in here has a chance. You keep hearing Kyle Shanahan say that. But he would be the guy that could step right in and fill in faster than a Kevin White, right? Kevin White's been off. Now, it doesn't mean that Justin Hardy is a better athlete than Kevin White. But for this system and Kyle Shanahan's offense, I'm going to go with Justin Hardy due to the fact of familiarity and also the ability to step right in on a dime's notice to be able to play and not miss a beat, as in knowing the playbook.
That's 2 for Justin Hardy, me 1 for Kevin White, right?
I'm going with Kevin White.
Oh, you and me.
It's Jersey. Height, speed, Jersey. You guys know how I am about my Jersey guys, man. I mean,
Mike loves from Jersey and hasn't lived in New Jersey for like 4 years.
Dang, Nick, you just blew up his
spot.
spot.
I yearn for it so much. It's been longer than that. It's been like 10 years, Nick.
Bro,
she
I'm
drugged me
raised
away.
in Jersey, and I can't stand it here.
You see how close I am to the border. I can throw a football in New Jersey right now if I wanted to. Like, that's how close I am to the border. She drugged me away.
I've seen you throw a football, bro.
Don't try to play me, Nick. You saw the 60-yard bomb. Don't try to play me,
yeah,
bro.
but your house is like way further than the bridge than 60 yards.
Now it is. Where I used to live, my first place was a lot closer. You know that. My first place was right by the water. But
shit.
The thing with Justin Hardy is that I feel like he's had a bad shake of luck. I mean, not Justin Hardy, Kevin White. Justin Hardy is good. And I remember in 2015, they had a draft. The Falcons had like 2 or 3 guys I really, really liked. And I think what gives Hardy the edge here is in 2015, Shanahan was there. So that's probably a guy that he had a lot of input on. He probably did some scouting on him also. And so, Shanahan probably knew of him because he's also from D.C. So maybe even his time in Washington, he heard of him coming up. But I'm not going to say it's like an unfair advantage or anything like that. But either way, if we get either one of these guys, I don't know enough about the other guys. I won't lie to you guys. I can't even say Craycraft. I don't know how to say his name. No,
I was trying to look him up, but I couldn't see it.
Hold on, where'd it go? You gonna say it?
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. So, River Crackraft. I tell you what, that's what I'm gonna do because I'm smart. I'm gonna put it on Google, and we're gonna see how they pronounce it.
That's exactly what I was doing, right?
Yeah, y'all cheaters.
I want to see the enunciation of his name. It's Crockraft. Hold up. Crockraft. All right, man. So let me just read a little bit about the kid, man, since we're talking about him. All right. Crockraft played with the Broncos during training camp in 2019. He's a return specialist, guys. Wide receiver return specialist. All right. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds. He played with the Broncos from 2017 to 2019. He played with the Eagles from 2019 to in 2020. His career stats are this. I don't know where our scouts or who finds these guys, but here we go. 1 reception, 44. This is what he did in 2019. 1 reception for 44 yards. Hey, and 83 return yards. Remember Mike and Nick on one of the recent shows? I said it looks like Kyle's always going after guys that make big plays, and it's like not a lot of plays, but it's like 1 for like a whole bunch of yards. He had 1 catch for 44 yards last year with the Eagles. No comment. All right, Crockraft.
All right, you want to look up the other guy too? Since we here, we're doing this.
Sure, let's do
our
it.
due diligence. This guy is Johnny Holton. His name is a little bit easier to say, and man, when Shanahan was talking about the group of receivers that were brought in, I believe it was Nick Wagner. It might have been Chris Biederman. They asked him, you were bringing in all different types of wide receivers. How come? Like you're not looking for one type of guy. You're not looking for a speed guy. You're not looking for a red zone threat. Like, why is it that you're just cycling through this group of receivers. They're all different. And Shanahan's response was exactly that. He's like, because we're looking for people for different reasons. Some of these guys are going to be really good in the return game. Some of these guys are going to be our deep down the field guys, the speed threat. Some of these guys are going to have better route running abilities than some of the other ones with a good catch radius. So Shanahan alluded to just like how you don't know what my purpose is for these guys. That's what I want the rest of the league to be thinking. Remember, we were talking about at some point this is going to become a game of manipulating the media and the reports to keep your competitive advantage.
Yes, sir.
And so I think that's what we're seeing here with Kyle Shanahan right now. So I'm sure you have Johnny Holton's information pulled up now. So I will shut up and you can break it down.
Alrighty, entered the NFL season in 2016. This kid ran a 4.54. He is 190 pounds. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. All right. He went to Cincinnati. He was drafted by the Raiders 2016 to 2018. He played with the Eagles in 2019 and the Steelers in 2019. So he played for two teams in 2019. His total stats for 2019, 14 receptions, 273 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns. 3
touchdowns on how many receptions?
14.
That's a great ratio. How tall is this dude?
Red zone, maybe? Maybe they were red zone touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what. How big is this?
6'1". My bad. That was the question you asked. I got excited. My fault.
That's a 3.
You heard me repeat it 3 times, right? There was a reason why I repeated it 3 times.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. That's okay.
That's you know what that is, Mike? That's Kendrick Bourne. And now Kendrick Bourne is upgraded. Wait, where'd that go? I'm all making freaking and Kendrick Bourne upgrades, to a veteran. He upgrades to a veteran, and then they bring in a guy who was flashing Kendrick Bourne numbers. So, red zone.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm excited, man. These guys are, they're not just bringing anybody. You can kind of see the purpose that they're putting together here. You know what I'm saying? You can see that they're looking for guys. Maybe they are looking for guys to take some of the snaps from people they know are going to be your starters. You just compared Holton to the Kendrick Bourne, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they're looking to say, all right, we know who Bourne is. We know who he's going to be. We don't need to keep running him out there. Right now, he is our wide receiver 1, and we need to make sure he's healthy for the season. Maybe we need someone to take some of the reps and run the routes the way that Kendrick Bourne would. So they sign a guy like Holton, right? Maybe we go out here and we get a Justin Hardy because he's shifty like a Trent Taylor, and Trent Taylor's finally healthy. So maybe we can sit Trent Taylor down. Maybe we sign a Kevin White because he's really good and Mike wants him to be a 49er. Like Mike is going to go buy a Kevin White jersey if he signs with the Niners. Like maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Let me ask you guys this, really. Like, do you really think that these guys have a shot, if they sign with the Niners, of making this football team? And the reason I'm asking that is because we've brought in a slew of receivers, right? Tavon Austin, right? Wasn't getting snaps until the injury to Ayuk, right? Then you go and get sign another tight end, which is the reason of Jordan Reed not practicing. Now Jordan Reed was back out on the practice field today doing one-on-ones, right? But then you bring in Kevin White, J.J. Hardy, Tavon Austin, J.J. Nelson. That's 4 receivers right there, right? You're only carrying 6 or 7 receivers, right? You may carry, I think we'll go with 7 this year due to the fact of COVID stuff, right? And the same with quarterbacks, 3. But the only thing is you do, and I see Tim just made a comment, and he said 2 vet wide receivers will be on the practice squad. And I see that because of the change, right? You get 16 on a practice squad, you get up to 6 vets on the practice squad now as well, with no time frame positions. But do you really think we'll go? Do you think 50% of the four guys I just named make this team? 2 of the 4 guys?
No, I don't.
So even if the Niners sign a Kevin White, Mike, do you really think he makes this team?
Yes. Yeah, I do, because like you said, we're looking for 7. I think the Magic number is 7 this year. I could be wrong, but even if it's 6, let's play the game of 6, right? You guys stop me when I'm wrong. Kendrick Bourne, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Are you guys throwing Trent Taylor in there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys.
He's the slot guy, guys. He's back.
No, that's fine. Okay, Trent Taylor, right? Are you guys throwing Jennings in there?
Yes.
Juwan Jennings, right? So that's Dante Pettis. Be honest.
Yep.
Not what you guys are hoping to see. Come on, Dante Pettis.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's break down the wide receiver positions and who's stacking who. Let's do it like that. Because
What?
who's stacking who? Like who's the backup for each receiver that we have? So who's Deebo's backup?
Okay, all right. So this is gonna be tough because Kendrick Bourne can play a lot of those different positions.
So exactly who I would go with. Kendrick Bourne is the backup to Deebo Samuel.
But see, I have Kendrick Bourne as one.
He's not wide receiver one as much. He is right
No.
now.
What I meant is I have him in there, but I guess what you're trying to. All right, I'll tell you what. I have. Let's say Deebo's not hurt. Is Deebo 1? Do we see him lined up?
I told you that I think Ayuk is the starter, and I think Deebo becomes like the physical possession. I think I got it. I think Ayuk is the Larry Fitzgerald, and Deebo is the Anquan Bolden. Now you can argue between 1 and 2 if you want. Remember when they both played for the Cardinals?
I do.
That's how I see those guys.
I like that.
I don't know how to answer. I don't know how to answer who's one.
In 3 wide receiver sets, I see Deebo, Ayuk, and Trent Taylor.
Okay. So now let's do that again. Do the next wave.
Okay, so then Kendrick Bourne.
Yep.
Kevin White.
Over Dante? Okay. Go ahead. This is your picks. My bad.
See, because we hope Dante bounces back. We want to see something.
But I still think he makes the squad because I think he's the Brandon. I'm not comparing him to Brandon Ayuk, but to me he would be that. He would play that spot. And then now find me another physical guy that will play Deebo's spot, and then give me another slot guy who plays Taylor's spot. And then we'll pick a wild card one. You get what I'm trying to say? To be the 7th.
Yeah, no, I do. I get where you're going with it. All right, so we got our first 3. But see, all right. Okay. So your outside guys are Samuel and Ayuk. Your slot guy is, you guys said Taylor. So his backup is going to be Bourne, or Bourne is a backup to the outside. Because Bourne played that's why I just want to know.
I think Bourne is a backup to all.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Wide receiver 4.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think he's a backup to all.
So let's say Bourne is that wild piece, and now I'm still find me my 3 backups then.
Okay. All right. So Bourne's a wild card. All right. So now we're looking at. Are we excluding Richie James? Is Richie James making the squad?
Honestly, you can add him in there. He's a wide receiver on this thing, but you get to pick your 3 backups.
I think he makes the squad because he's starting off on the PUP list anyway, or he would have already been cut due to injury. So he's not going to count against the 53 anyway. So I think he still is here because I think the Niners would have already did away with him with injury, like an injury release, if that was the case.
All right. So then Bourne is the wild card. I'm going to say
I'm going Jennings in the slot as the backup.
we haven't seen him. So like that's a hope. You get what I'm saying? When we're looking at these guys and what they've already done in the league, the rookies are kind of hard to evaluate because I'm
just saying because that's where he's been playing. So that's where he's been playing. So that's why I'm saying him.
But right, so you have him making the team and you're going to pencil him in as a slot guy, right?
Right.
But think about this for a second. Tavon Austin, J.J. Nelson, Juwan Jennings, Dante Pettis, Jared Brown. We keep forgetting about that 6'3" guy. Jared Brown. Kevin White. Jerron Brown. I'm sorry. Jerron Brown. Kevin White and Justin Hardy. Of those 7 guys I just said, who are the top 2 guys out of that? I'll say the names again. Justin, hey, you know what? I'm gonna type these
The
names.
two top guys are Debo and Kendrick Bourne.
No. That's not what I said.
No. We're
That's
going.
not what I said. Hold on.
Those are already the first three.
Justin Hardy.
You got
right?
you got Justin Hardy. You got Crawcraft, Johnny Holton.
No, I'm not gonna put Crawcraft in here. I get it. But I'm not gonna put him in here because
If they're looking for a return specialist, Mike, you got to put him on here, bro. Because we're not sure if Richie James is going to be back. You might not want with the soft tissue injury to Brandon Ayuk. You don't want him returning punts.
What's Craycraft first name?
Craycraft.
Yeah. What was his?
They start with a C. River. Start with an R.
River. No disrespect, Craycraft. I'm sorry. All right.
Like
now
River Phoenix.
Tavon Austin.
Yep. And JJ Nelson. And Jerron Brown.
Jerron Brown.
And
all right.
Did you mention Kevin White?
I put Kevin White on here already. I'm gonna do Juwan Jennings, right?
Yep.
Jauan. Juwan Jennings.
Jauan. Yep.
No, it's not two J's.
No, it's Jauan. Yep.
Yeah. Juwan Jennings. Is that it for the wide receiver? No, I'm missing one.
You got Richie James up there.
Hold on, let me see. No, because Richie James is on that list, so we don't have to count him. All right, Tavon Austin got him. Bourne. Oh no, Brown, Jennings, Nelson. Oh, Dante Pettis. That's what I'm missing. Dante Pettis and Sean Poindexter.
And Sean Poindexter, who they said is having a great camp. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, now watch this. Y'all ready? Here's how we're gonna do this. Boom. There they go. All right. Everybody said it. Where is ours for YouTube? All these comments. All right, there it is. Now, we've already said the top guys are Taylor, Bourne, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel.
Correct.
Okay.
That's 4.
Let's just, for the sake of this exercise, say that 3 more guys are going to make this roster.
That's what we said from the beginning.
Okay. You tell me the best 3 players on this list. Don't tell me hopes. Tell me the best 3 players. We trying to make a Super Bowl push, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you go Dante Pettis. I think you go. I like Jerron Brown because he's big and physical in the red zone. I'm going Dante, Jerron, and the rookie.
Jennings?
Yep, because that's your other slot guy.
Do you need Juwan Brown?
Say that again?
If you have Jennings, do you need Jerron Brown?
Because I don't know. I know Juwan is going to be – they're going to line him up in the slot. I don't know if Jerron is going to be lined up in the slot. But they're both physical. But I think Juwan is
Brown is 6'3", 204s. Juwan Jennings. Wow, look at that. This team swear they slick. It's 6'3", 212. Y'all worry about where they line up. What do they bring that's different?
Well, they both bring physicality to football
and size. They both 6'3", 200+ pound guys. I'm just saying, is there a need for both of them? We're talking about the depth.
All right, so I'm going. All right, I'm going Juwan Jennings, Dante Pettis, and I'm going with Tavon Austin.
Okay. All right, Nick.
Those are my 3. Juwan Jennings, Tavon Austin, and Dante Pettis.
Wow.
All right. I'm gonna take Tavon Austin out, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right. If Deebo is healthy, the gadget plays are gonna go to Deebo because he's more durable. And he's not as fast, but he's more durable. Now, when it comes to route running and catching balls, Tavon Austin is limited. All right. That's just what it is. We don't have a need for him as a wide receiver. As a gadget guy, cool. But as a wide receiver, we don't have it. And so because we have the gadget guy, I'm not going to take Tavon. All right. So I'm looking at this list now. I like the Juwan Jennings thing. We know how this team feels about guys they sign. I'm going to keep him. He's one of my 3. Everything in me is saying Dante Pettis because we want it. We feel like we're owed it. We saw one good year of promise, and then we saw a really, really bad year where it really messed with this kid. I told you guys it was boom or bust. Literally, I'm gonna give him the nod right now. Okay, so we have a 6'1" guy, we have a 6'3" guy, right? Pettis is 6'1". Am I right? Where's he at? Where's Dante? 6'1", yeah, 6'1". All right, so we got a 6'1" guy, we got a 6'3" guy. I'm looking at J.J. Nelson, Ron Brown. It's between Justin Hardy and Kevin White for me, and I'm just going to go with my bias and go with Kevin White. I just don't see a need for Jawan Jennings and Jerron Brown. I don't see what role Tavon Austin brings here if we have Trent Taylor or Brandon Ayuk or someone else returning punts.
He brings the same role that Raheem Mostert brought for his first few years here, a return guy, like a special teams guy.
Special teams gunner?
No, not as a gunner, but a special teams guy. He'll be the return guy.
Right, but if we have somebody else that's doing that, then you get what I'm saying? Like, we're not signing a depth piece to be a return guy.
But who do you have doing that, Mike? That's my question. I know you have people that can do it, but who on your list do you want doing it? Do you really want Trent Taylor back there?
Personally, I've been wanting Dante Pettis to get back there and do it.
But if Dante Pettis is not, if he's not good at it or comfortable with it or whatnot, you know, college space in college and space in the NFL is two different things. You know, catching that ball in space and trying to make the guys miss or whatnot. And we all know that Kyle preaches, you know, holding on to the ball more than anything. So he'd rather you be safe than be, you know, a playmaker or whatnot. That's why we probably didn't see much from Richie James, you know. So I'm not saying that they can't, but if you got guys that you want to excel in other spots, when you can get this guy who can give you gadget plays, because guess who's not here for the first, well, we don't know if he's not here, but guess who's not here right away is Deebo Samuel, right? So then you can continue with some of those gadget plays. The only thing is they know about that.
I do want to say this. If Deebo is not here week 1, my list of 3 changes. What I'm saying is based off of Deebo being here.
Oh, right.
Does that make any sense to y'all?
Yeah, I got you.
Because everything I said about the gadget plays changes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But don't you want more than one person to be able to give you the gadget plays, bro? If deep,
I don't think that for a second that he's the only one getting those handoffs. We just haven't heard it reported yet.
Correct.
I don't think for a second that he's the only. You think Kyle's just not calling up those plays right now because Deebo's out?
No.
And you think it's only going to Tavon?
No, I think I think our running backs back there lined up doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Juwan Jennings is doing it because of his physicality.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. it's just rough, man.
I get what you're saying. You just don't see that there's room for Tavon Austin on this team because you have other guys that could do what he does.
Right.
I got you. But he also provides a speed factor too.
Right. But if Kevin White's here, you've got the 4.35 also.
But if Richie James was making this team, if he was, Tavon Austin is a better Richie James.
Yeah, but Richie James won't be back for 6 weeks.
Right. But that's my point, guys. Like if he was, this would have been a good practice. This would have been a good battle because he does what Richie James does. I think Tavon I think he can understand the offense better. Like I think he comprehends it.
I don't know that. That's the thing. We've never seen Tavon as a good route runner. Just like we've never seen Richie James do it. It's the handoffs. Think about all the plays that we like. It's just the go route or some crazy ass toss where he's going crazy or a return. That is it.
I felt like with the Rams, he ran some good routes. I think Dallas used him wrong. And what was the first team he was with? Was it the Rams?
It was the Rams.
Yeah, I thought the Rams used him right. I thought he was garbage in Dallas, and I forgot where he went after that, and now he's here.
Look, if Richie James was healthy, I think 3 of these guys aren't even here.
Oh, facts. But I disagree. Whoa.
That was a good call, Nick. That was a damn good
That's a great call, Nick, but hear me out. We're seeing what kind of injuries are we seeing in practice? A bunch of soft tissues. A lot of these guys are here to get through this camp.
Right.
And that doesn't mean, like you said, they're going to make the squad, but a lot of guys are here so we can just complete the camp. I want to move on from this because I got to go to work in the morning, but a lot of guys are here just to get through camp, and they want practice to stay fluid and to be able to run those plays. Again, there's no preseason, and this is when you would see these guys play. So I think That's why they're here. And I think you're right, Nick. If Debo was here, we don't see a lot of these fellows.
Right. And I believe if Richie wasn't hurt, Debo wasn't hurt, like we don't even sign. You heard Kyle Shanahan say it himself. He said, I go through camp with 11 wide receivers. That's what I need
Facts.
to get through camp. And that's why all these signings, right? And if we're going to, look, there's a possibility that one or two of these guys may make the team, right? But it's highly unlikely, depending on Debo Samuel when he comes back. We already know Richie James is going to miss the first 6 weeks. So one of these guys could just be a fill-in for the time being of 6 weeks. Right? And then Richie James comes back and he just,
and we're assuming he comes back.
Right. I'm saying we assume that he's come back because he wasn't cut yet. Right. So normally if they would want to replace him, they could cut him right now. But they don't know what they have.
If he comes back healthy and then they cut him, the injury guarantee goes away.
Ooh. Now you're speaking my language.
This is true. But the reason I asked this question was because we have 14 guys or 12 guys, 13 guys, whatever it is, in camp right now, right? Mm-hmm. And we're guessing 7, right? They could literally just keep 6. We don't know what they're going to keep, right? I'm guessing 6 or 7 will be how many roster spots the receiver position takes up. I believe Kyle Shanahan kept 7 last year, or was it 6 and 1 was inactive all the time?
Yeah, Jordan Matthews was inactive.
Real quick.
Until he got cut.
At this moment, there's only 9 wide receivers on the team.
You mean until these guys clear because they signed?
Practicing. There's only 9 guys that are practicing.
Right, but that's because Ayuk was out.
No, I'm counting Ayuk. Ayuk made 9. That's the thing. So he might be about to sign 3 guys for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Oh, we signed somebody today. Damn, I forgot to tell you guys that.
We signed a tight end. We didn't.
I gotta find it now. Sugar honey iced tea. We were supposed to start the show with that, guys.
Well, you suck, Mike. I'm just playing.
Damn, because we cut Jermichael Hasty, remember?
Oh, we signed
we signed Swoop, the tight end.
Oh, okay, that's right. We signed Swoop, and Ahmed was the guy that was going. That's right.
Right.
But we were supposed to start the show with that. I forgot.
Yeah, not Hastings wasn't cut. Ahmed was cut, waived. And we signed the tight end Swoop.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
So we only have 9 guys right now.
And that's counting Ayuk, which means that we know that they're going to replace him just because, like you said, Kyle likes 11 bodies to get through camp. So take away Ayuk, that leaves 8. Three of these guys are going to get signed right now. But the question was, who's making the roster at the end of it all? So
yeah, I saw somebody say that Richie James isn't going to be put on the PUP list, but Kyle Shanahan already said that he was going to be put on the PUP list most likely.
He ain't there yet, bro. It's not official until it's official.
Well, because they don't have to put him on the PUP right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
what does this comment mean?
He was saying maybe Kyle's making a comeback debut as a wide receiver because he played wide receiver at college.
Oh, more okay. You know what?
Yeah. Sean's just making jokes today. So yeah, that was my question. And now my other question before we move on is, right, are you rushing Ayuk back? Because this is my question, right? If you don't bring him back, how ready is he for week 1? Because we know there's a lot more to him learning the playbook than there is Nick Bosa being a defender, right? Now, Nick Bosa went all training camp, all preseason, played week 1, right, when he was injured. But Ayuk, on the other hand, needs to know a whole lot more positional-wise, especially because Deebo Samuel's down. Are you holding him back by holding him out and not getting him back in the lineup by being having precautions with him?
Go ahead, Breezy.
I mean, I personally don't think so, because I think Kyle is comfortable where he is at this point, and he's going to continue to learn as he go. So I think he's being held out right now. He's not going to get those reps because you want him to be ready to go September 13th, because he's your chess piece. He's a guy that no one has ever seen play NFL football. So there's no film on this kid other than they watched in college. And all they know is that he probably makes big plays. So if he catches the ball over you and your safety ain't there to help out, he's gone. He's taking it to the house. He's gonna make big plays. So I don't think they're going to, I don't think he comes back right now. I think he may come back the last week of practice before the game just to get reps in. But I think Kyle is cool where he is. I think he's going to get some of that Nick Bosa treatment. I think they value him. I think they value him at what pick was he? 25? 20 what?
Who?
Like
Ayuk.
he was like
25th.
20 what? 20 what? What pick did we pick? I think, put it like this. I think they value him more than
we moved up to 24.
we moved up. That's why I asked 25. They value his pick, I believe, more than they value Kinlaw. I think Kinlaw they grab because they know he's going to be a work in progress, but they want him. They wanted him at the work in progress, and I think they traded to come up and get him. But I think that they value the position and the skill set of Brandon Ayuk right now. I think he's more of a need for this team to be out there on the field than Kinlaw is.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So how do the reps hurt him? Like, yes, we're hearing that he's doing well in camp, but that's, 11 on 11s, no contact. There's not really, a whole, it was pick 25. The whole thing. So while Nick Bosa didn't really need those reps because he was playing as a defender, right? So he's just, Chris Kosaric saying, peel back and just get after the quarterback. I'm not going to curse like him, but does this hurt Brandon Ayuk sitting out and losing those reps? Because he's gotten the reps so far where Debo wasn't, and now let's say he sits for 3 weeks, right? 19 days. But does that, or comes back
but I think
the week of games.
I think he's different than Debo. And because he's different, what am I trying to say? His skill set is a little bit different than Debo's. I think his Debo needed to learn how to play wide receiver in this position, and I think they're going to allow him. They're gonna allow Ayuk to play the type of wide receiver that he normally plays because of his skill sets being a little bit differently. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's what it is. I don't even know if I'm answering the question.
This isn't a question as to, and I'll let Mike answer too, but this isn't a question as to questioning his ability or him playing the position. Mm-hmm. It's how bad are losing these reps for 2.5 weeks going to hurt him going into week 1?
I don't think they hurt him, but go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, Shanahan mentioned that he just has to stay on top of it mentally. He addressed that in the presser specifically. He's confident in the young man's ability. He says he seems to know the playbook and the route running is good. And he's okay where he is right now. So he just has to stay on top of it. Now, obviously, when he says stay on top of it, he's not talking about get out there and keep running routes. Otherwise, you'd be in practice. So he's talking about stay on top of the playbook, stay with it. And the good thing is, depending on how close we are to September 13th, I mean, we're 20 days out right now, that's essentially 3 weeks. 21 days is 3 weeks. So we're essentially 3 weeks out. If he only misses a week and a half, and he returns to practice in the middle of the second week, Shanahan said he hopes the second week. That's not bad. That's not bad. So I don't think it hurts him, but I do understand what you're saying. You want to add some more intricacies to it, and what are you missing by not taking those reps is the question, that we're trying to figure out. But
are we trying to play it safe and hurting this kid's progression by sitting him compared to him not having an injury and playing, right, to be ready for week 1? If he can technically go out there in a week, but the Niners say, you know what, we're just going to sit you for another week and a half, 2 weeks before week 1, and then you come back game week preparation. Are we hurting the kid with his progression right now? I know that Wayne said that he's different than Debo, but if you remember, Debo didn't take off until week 6, week 7, and he had a training camp, OTAs, mini camp, preseason, and Debo didn't take off until week 6, week 7.
Debo had good games before that happened, but people say that because.
But he wasn't being used the way that he was since week 6, week 7.
Well, they tried to use him
in
that reverse run game, and he fumbled, and that was his setback. And I think that's when Kyle was like, hey, let's slow this down a little bit for this kid. And then it wasn't really until that Baltimore game, Nick? That's when Debo turned into a monster.
Right after we got Emmanuel Sanders is when he turned into a different player.
I think people remember what they want to remember. Debo had some really good games before Sanders was here.
I think
He had a really good
catches
game before Sanders here. I'm trying to pull it up. Look, just week 2, he had 7 targets, 5 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That was his third highest all year long. That's even after Sanders came. So it's not like he was just nobody before. He was getting targets, he was getting receptions and all that stuff. But
no, and that's not what I'm trying to say about Debo. I'm not saying that he was a nobody, but he didn't really take off and become the Debo that we know now until week 6 or week 7, where he consistently became that guy on the offense. He wasn't that guy weeks 1 through 5. Like he just wasn't him. He got the targets, but the ball was spread around so much, and he made some good plays. But was he the same guy that he was in the Super Bowl as he was in week 1 through 5? Obviously not, right? Yeah. He was a rookie.
He progressed. No, you're right.
I get what you're saying.
He progressed.
What we have to remember is that Kyle hid whatever weaknesses there were in his game. I don't doubt for a second that he could do that for Ayuk. And I think Ayuk is a more naturally talented wide receiver. Not necessarily a ball carrier, but I think he's a more talented wide receiver than Debo is, or was at his point in his rookie season, I should say. So I hope I said that. I think it's more up here than it is physical. So get ready, and then I think we see him back out. I think we see him in about 9 or 10 days. I really do. I don't think he's going to take the whole 2 weeks. I think he'll be back out and practicing and running around like he should in about a week and a half. So,
and the reason my question was because a lot of fans are like, just sit him until week 1. I just think that stalls him a little bit. Like me personally, that doesn't mean that you're right or wrong, or I'm right or wrong. It's just as a rookie, whether you're far along than any receiver rookie that you've ever seen, there's still a lot to learn. We know Kyle Shanahan's playbook. We've heard receivers say, this is the hardest playbook I've ever had to study. And I didn't start really picking it up until week 7, week 8, week 9. Like, there's been tons of guys that said that.
Shanahan say that this is the most advanced rookie he's ever coached in his career.
Right. But I know that. But there's also, like, this isn't saying that he won't go out there and perform. This is just a question as into, if the Niners hold him back, are we holding him back from being what he can be for the first 3 weeks of the season? Compared
let me ask you a question. What's more important for a receiver to learn based off of what you just said about the system and learning the playbook? Sitting down, actually studying the book and getting a grasp of it, or being out there physically?
Getting the reps. It depends on the type of player you are. Some that are more hands-on and doing things compared to some that are kinesthetic and just read. So it depends on what type of player he is. Some guys can go there and, read something and go out and perform it. Other guys need to read it, see it, do it to become that person. So it really depends on how you learn. We can't sit here and say that, me personally, I'm more of a hands-on guy. You put a playbook in front of me and I'm not doing it, I'm not going to remember it all. Now I read it, you show me, and then I do it, I'm going to learn it. That's just the way I am. So we don't really know what type of learner he is, but reps are important. You hear all football players say that. The more reps you get, the more you stack, the better you get.
Well, some guys who are injured right now that been here for a couple of seasons, and I think they could use some time to sit down and study the playbook a little bit more. But that's another story for another time. I'm not going to say no names. But yeah, it's interesting. Different people do learn different ways. We all know that. And that's not just football. That's, math. I could sit here and try to teach my kids, math problems, and I can show them, but I have to physically give them something to count. And all of a sudden a light goes off. Some people just have to be hands-on. Don't show me, let me touch and let me understand. So, some people are kinetic. It's different for everybody. So
you're 100% correct, bro. I'm like that. I'm like that with music. I can read music, but if you give me the sheet music, it's foreign, and I'd rather just play it. Like, you know what I mean? Get rid of
I'm
this.
far from a musician, but if you put a piano in front of me and give me a tune,
Yep.
I can start plucking it out.
You-
Don't ask me to read.
I mean, I could read the music. It's just that I'm so used to learning music by ear, by rote learning or whatnot. Like, just give it to me and I'll just make it hot. And then I could put my emotion in it. Whereas if I'm not, I got to read it. Am I playing legato? Am I playing allegro? Do I got to play it fast here? Like, it's just too much language going on there. And I feel like it's emotionless. Aha.
Right. So we won't touch on the pressers. Maybe if we have time tomorrow, if we can all somehow get together, maybe we can jump in tomorrow and just go over the pressers. I don't know if you guys have time. If one of you guys have time, I don't even know if I'm going to have time. You guys know I'm on call, so there's no telling what the hell's going to happen. But if we can make time, I think we owe it to everybody to give our breakdown and our takes from the pressers. So let's put a pin in that. And let's wrap this thing. We rocked over an hour and a half. Sorry, guys. We argued about the contract.
I love the comments.
I swear that we are all very happy he's here. That is airtight. Oh, and by the way, I know we're not to the pressers yet, but whatever fan that was that sent George Kittle a message on Venmo
about the new TV?
asking to send him money so he could buy you a TV, don't do that. Don't. That's not funny. That's not funny. Can you imagine that? Somebody you don't, hey, can you give me some money so I can buy a TV?
So I can watch you play?
He tried to spice it up so I can see Jimmy G's chin line in high definition or whatever it was. Don't do that. Be better, guys. Don't ask these celebrities because you found out their Venmo information all right. That's another. I'm not going to rant.
Hey, George Kittle. If you send me $5, I would put it to your charity. No, I'm just playing.
Send me $5. I'll send you 10 back.
Right now, guys. Yeah, let's just show a little bit of confidence. It was probably all a joke, but I get where we're coming from. I got you. I can't wait to put on my new case.
Somebody that he knew, like trying to be funny, because they did ask him what's the strangest thing somebody asked you for. So he was purposely saying that, but the way it felt was like a fan just happened to have his Venmo and was like, "Hey, want to buy a TV? Hook a brother up." You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. See, look at Steve. See. I'm getting the 86-inch for $200 more than that, but that's not at Costco. That's at BJ's. It's Breezy's fault. I should have never got that damn
dude.
BJ
You would have been worse at Costco, bro.
Yeah,
you would have been worse.
I like Costco way more than BJ's.
Costco's got more stuff. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't need more stuff. You see the receipts.
Then please thank me for sending you to BJ's.
That TV is coming home, bro. That TV is coming home, bro.
It's tough, man.
I can't wait to show y'all that.
Yo, maybe somebody Venmo George Kittle that $10 that's in his contract.
Oh, that would be funny. That would be funny.
What is that bonus $10? Like that I don't understand that.
Maybe that's a typo. Maybe it's a 10,000. It's supposed to say 10K. Yeah, like 10K. Yeah, I think that's a typo, man.
All right, I don't know, but we're gonna get up out of here, man. Any final thoughts from you guys? I'm all tapped out for the night.
That was great,
no,
man.
Not for me. I don't think. Yeah, look, guys, injuries are going to happen, man. We just got to hope that they're not. We've said this before. We just got to hope that they're not season-ending, or things that hurt us going forward. Look, the Niners are going to continue to sign receivers. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, we're keeping a close eye on it as well as you guys are. We bring you the news here as much as we can. Big shout out to the Niner Empire Jersey Shore for the meetup that they had this past weekend. It was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of Jersey fellow faithful. I know they had another one on Sundays at Nuno's for the Northern Jersey chapter. So if you guys are in Jersey, make sure you guys check these chapters out, man. 609ers, Niner Empire, Jersey Shore chapter, the Northeast Jersey chapter as well. Check them out so that you guys can come watch games with all of us Jersey folks, man. So big shout out to all those guys. George and Gil, Melissa, Jen, they did a great job putting that together. So big shout out to them.
That's right. I want to see some Kevin White jerseys out there. Jersey, y'all represent. You know what I'm saying? All right. Real quick, I said we were going to circle back to the other two injury updates that we had. They're very, very quick. D Ford has been upgraded to day-to-day. All right. It's just a little bit of calf tightness. He thought he was going to be able to go today. They said, nah, just wait a little bit longer. So they put him on the side. And Kyle Shanahan remains hopeful that Deebo Samuel will be ready for week 1.
Yes, sir.
So,
and my little tidbit is Jordan Reed practiced today in pads, not maxi pads, but football pads. Just wanted to make sure because sometimes when I say pads, people be like, huh? He practiced today in pads. I'm saying it the right way. Shout out to my man Jordan Reed, CT in the building. Bump that jersey stuff, yo. Let's go, Connecticut. Stand up. Jordan Reed, you here, man. We rooting for you. What, Mike? What?
I like that. I like that energy. Rep for your set, right? Like that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's why you talk about the jersey. You see what I'm saying? Now, look, when we discuss these, I'm really excited to discuss these pressers because what you and Nick were telling me before about some Jordan Reed stuff and route running. I got some takeaways.
Oh,
so
God.
I can't wait for us to do this. Hopefully, like I said, even if it's just a 30-minute show to recap what they all said, we'll break that thing down. All right. So
get up out of here, yo.
all right. Yeah. So that's it, man. I don't have any final thoughts, man, other than y'all be safe. Y'all spread love, not war. Stop cursing people out. Show some love, guys. All right. That's it for us here. And Nothing But Niners. We thank you guys for rocking with us, man. You guys were over 300 deep in here live today. I appreciate that. I have no idea what the likes are at. I can't see them. I don't know who sees them. I don't know how people see them. I don't see the likes. So whatever it is, I hope you guys hit those thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications because you never know when we're going live. If my guy, Kevin White, is you can crank that joint. If my guy, Kevin White, is signed, you best believe I'll be bringing you a breaking news video. We didn't do it for Austin. We didn't do it for Nelson. We didn't do it for Swoop. Okay? But if Kevin White gets signed, you best believe you guys are going to hear from me for a breaking news video. That's going to do it, man. We love you guys. Y'all be safe. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful, y'all.
We out of here. Peace.
Bananas.